What's up? Welcome back. This is a discussion I've been wanting to do a video, and every time I did a video, I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. So give me 1 minute. I'm back. I had to get a drink. Mostly because I don't like being the person to ramble. I'll admit I'm guilty of it. I know I say shit that seems nonsensical, or some people might not be able to understand me, but this is one that I've been watching a lot of Black Metal Werewolf the last couple of days. He's one of the first YouTubers I ever got into for metal. Uh, Helped me get more into like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Amon Amarth. Get me into a lot of bands. Series of recommendations. Um, so of course I like listening, and one of the things that I believe he sort of touched on, and this is kind of the point of this video, is metal, the metal community kind of watering down the actual music. Now, when I say the community in quotes, I'm talking about the people who feel like you need to be politically correct about one specific thing. Um, I don't like being political. I believe that you, regardless of whether you're right wing, left wing, this or that, you are allowed to believe what you want, and I'm not gonna fucking stop you from it. Because for me, that is ridiculous that people feel the need to control what others believe. It, um, for me, it's gotten to a point that the grindcore bands have started kind of just complaining about everything every 5 minutes, and like, okay, yeah, we don't, like, I can understand, like, if it's a band, like, I think it was like a Skull of Grind or whatever, um not actually meaning any of the shit that they said about supporting um trans people or whatever. And since I do fall into that category, of course, like, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really give a shit because I don't listen to a Skull of Grind, but, the amount of people that went after them, I felt was like, okay, we don't need the comments. All you guys have to do is just unfollow them, or just follow them, separate art from the artist. I don't really care what you do, but going to Instagram or Facebook and saying, hey, this person is over here saying all this shit, we don't approve of that. Well, believe it or not, anyone with two functioning brain cells would not be supportive of transphobia, homophobia, pedophilia. But guess what? I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, hey, I don't want you watching my videos because I believe in this. My videos are meant for everyone. I may touch on topics that people may disagree with, but that's not the point of my videos. The point is mostly to be about metal in general, and another um thing that I feel like is it's gotten watered down to a point. Like, death metal has to be about this or this or this, rather than being something like Cannibal Corpse in their early days, especially, where it was uber brutal, and you would be shocked. Like, yeah, sure, their new stuff is just as shocking, but look at a album like Butchered at Birth. Nowadays, people see something like this and they're like, "Oh my god, that's horrific." No, obviously, I'm not saying everyone, but I don't mean literally everyone. But you look. But I mean, you look at something like Butchered at Birth or Tomb of the Mutilated. You you look at these two albums, but now people are like, well, I can't handle all the gore and blood and violence because it's triggering. Newsflash: no one's asking you to. I'm like, it's called death metal. But now you have to water down the art, what the lyrics are about, uh, the sound. A lot of people seem to like to tell bands how they should sound, and I'm like, bands are going to change their sound. Perfect example, I grew up listening to Motley Crue. They were my first concert. I've seen them twice, and I have no shame in saying I enjoy Motley Crue. Do I think that they're the greatest band now? By all means, fuck no. But they went from the sound of these two albums, which were more glam, this being probably the heavier of the two, um, obviously with the most satanic imagery, as it is called Shout the Devil, to the sound of Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood, to whatever the fuck Generation Swine was trying to be, to what I think, and I'm not trying to say like the albums with Vince are overall bad. Like, Girls, Girls, Girls is one of my favorite albums to listen to, but the self-titled had a much heavier, bluesier sort of feel to it. But the thing is that music changes over time. Not everything is going to be one dominant sound. In the 80s, the dominant sound on the radio was hair metal. Then in the 90s, you had fucking grunge. Like, and new metal, you had 2000s, you had like the metalcore, I guess. you know, um, and just overall, I feel like people are forgetting what metal is about. Is I guess the point that I'm trying to get across is, metal is about being yourself and, you know, individualism, and, when people tell bands or whoever how to think, you know. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to straight up. I'm not saying like, oh, we should only listen to National Socialist bands. No, that's not what I'm fucking saying at all. I don't ever agree with that ideology. A quick story about that. I was in, I want to say it was 10th grade. I was listening to Slayer. I was starting to get more into Slayer. And of course, I had the album Rain in Blood, sorry, um, playing, and of course, the song Angel of Death was on. So of course, I'm doing my work. It's like, and you could look at my screen, see what's on there, and I guess someone saw it because pretty much throughout the rest of high school, people were drawing swastikas on my locker, calling me a Nazi, and I didn't even really say anything. I just kind of went to the office, said, "Hey, can you see if you can find out who's drawing swastikas?" They didn't do jack shit. Obviously that pissed my dad off when he found out, and I'm like, well, I tried, and they didn't want to do shit. Um, but the the fact that I feel like a lot of people are taking away what metal is about, I guess, is what's bugging me, because for me, like, when I go to a concert, there are plenty of people I can tell, like, I wouldn't get along with just by looking at them, but yet we're all there to have fun, so I don't bring any of that shit up. So, I go, oh, I like your shirt. And we start talking about bands that we like. Immortal, Carpathian Forest, or whatever the fucking band is. Fucking Gorgoroth. Um, no, Celtic Frost, Hooded Menace, Nunslaughter, Possessed, Revenge, Aborted, Creator, whatever you wanna, you know, of whatever bands float your fancy. Needed that. Um, but um, for me, it's a like I said, it's not really the entire community as so much so as it is just like specific people. And I'm not gonna say which group because I don't want to just straight up call them out. Um, but if you are one of the people who feel the need to tell a band, what they should write about or what they should sound like, fuck off. They don't make music. I can guarantee you, your favorite bands aren't making music for fans. They're making it for themselves, and the fans are drawn in. And I can confidently say that because plenty of bands have said that to me. Um, but I want to know what your thoughts are. Maybe I'm missing something. Correct me on anything if I am wrong, please. I would love to have a civil discussion about this. Um, then, just a little suggestion for an album here. To end on a lighter note. Um, I saw this band opening, I think for DRI. Um, I saw so many bands. Uh, they were actually kind enough to actually let me get this, just give this to me for free. I wanted a shirt, and they didn't have any in my size, so the band is Manic Outburst. The album is Violent Agitation. This is great, like Detroit crossover thrash. So, highly, highly recommend it. Catchy as hell. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As always, shine on, stars.